Hello, welcome to Crafting Ruby Dreams. My name's Katie, and I talk about planners, goal setting, writing, publishing, and getting right with my finances. Should probably also talk about getting right with time, but that's a whole other issue. That's ADHD. Anyway, today I am going to be talking about how I'm going to be using my two compact vertical planners from Erin Condren. I talked about this a little bit in my May hauls video from, I've lost track of time. It may have been last Saturday. I have done another live since then. So seriously, sense of time, kind of shot. But let's get on track here. So I've got these two. They're both 18-month, and so they're on the thick side. But I also, the reason I got these was partially total impulse buy, but also very intentional impulse buy, if that makes any sense, in that I knew exactly what I wanted to use them for when I got them. So impulse, yes, but not without intention. So the first one was this one, just cover. It's very pretty, frankly. But also the reason I got it was because I had not been able to find the planner that I had gotten as a health and wellness tracker a few months ago. And I honestly lost track of it like about sometime in April, and I could not find it for the life of me. And of course, a couple of weeks after I bought this particular planner to start in July, I found the other one. So not sure what I'm going to do with that now, but just moving forward. And so the reason I had decided earlier this year to get a health and wellness tracker, or to get a planner essentially to use as a tracker, was because I am in my mid 40s. I am a female in my mid 40s, which means I need to start paying attention to certain health issues. And since then, I've had other various health issues crop up that I just want to have records of for my own peace of mind. But in terms of that first general health issue, I just figured I want to have an idea so that when I go in for my annual physicals with my doctor, I can have a record of, okay, here is kind of what my cycle looks like. And here's the various, not symptoms necessarily, because I am a female, so this is a regular part of my human existence. But like, these are days I feel cramping, and this is like kind of like what my flow is. So it just, so that we can track to see when I might be in perimenopause and all of that wonderful stuff. So that's the main reason why I want to have some kind of system to have as a tracker, so I could bring in and have a record of, okay, here's all of this. And frankly, I prefer something analog, paper, for that, because I don't want to be putting this in an app. In the United States, I don't want anyone besides myself and my doctor tracking my condition as a female. So I'm just going to leave it at that. So I got this during launch week. And then a little while later, about like a week or two, or something like that, 2-3 weeks later, I don't know. I was realizing, like, you know what, I need to get serious about my finances. I need to start tracking my money more intentionally, because I do better with my finances when I do that. And I have not been doing that for a while now. So I decided, you know what, I want another planner. So yay, spending money to save money, which not the case necessarily, but because I had gotten the first one and I liked the layout, and I was like, you know what, I know exactly how I can also use this layout as a financial tracker. And so I spent some time. Let's go ahead and start with the health and wellness, since that was the first idea that I had. And like a week ago, maybe, I spent some time just sitting outside on my balcony, enjoying the weather, and figuring out exactly how I wanted to use this. So I just made some notes in on cloth and paper, the transparent sticky notes, and I really like them. They're really nice. And it turns out, here, I did not realize this when I was doing the health and wellness tracker one, but I figured it out this morning when I was doing the financial, but I'm just getting this to actually fit. But the cloth and paper square flags, as you can see right here, fit almost perfectly into a date on the monthly layout of the compact vertical, actually probably A5. So whether or not you have the daily do or the compact vertical, and I believe A5 also is available as a horizontal layout. So on the monthly layout, these square flags fit almost perfectly. So if you want a sticky note, I recommend the cloth and paper square flags for that kind. So what I'm planning on doing on the monthly layout is using the monthly layout to write down affirmations, maybe having mood trackers. So like just putting one word on every day of happy, okay, meh, MEH, sad, angry. That's what I'm currently using in the, what am I doing? MäksēLife. So my daily journal and the flagship MäksēLife, every day instead of using the habit tracker on that weekly layout, all I do is I just put in like a mood tracker. So this is just another way to track my mood because health and wellness, my mental health. So just it's duplication, but it's then all in one for the health and wellness. And honestly, affirmations are also really good things. So this is a kind of small size space for me, especially with my writing. So we'll see. But those were the two options I figured out that I could use the monthly overview for. And then let's see. So for this page, which is on the other side of the monthly, also note that there are 27 lines. So depending on what you may want to do, you have 27 lines to do so, or if you want to split it in half or thirds, multiples of 27 then. But I thought maybe my favorite meals or meals to try. So a little bit of meal planning, and being more intentional with what kinds of meals that I have. Like I have this one particular vegetarian meal that I actually really do like, but it's a little labor intensive. So it depends on how I'm feeling. Like, do I want to put in the effort of doing that, as well as trying some other vegetarian meals? I am not looking to go vegetarian. I like my meat. I have no personal moral opposition to eating meat, but at the same time, I think for personal health reasons, I think it would be good if I tried to start including more vegetarian options within my meal planning for the week. So I have not figured out how to use this dashboard page in the health and wellness tracker yet. It's something that I'm thinking about, but I do have some ideas for this in the financial tracker that I'll share. So that's kind of got me thinking about what I might want to use this for the health and wellness. So here are some other things that I would like to note. Again, this was interesting to me. On the top half of this layout, so Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday have 11 lines. So that's going to restrict what you can put on these spaces. But this bottom space, which means Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday, that's 12 lines. So I'm not sure why there's the extra line, but if you look here, look at that. That's actually not a lot of margin space that was left. So, and then if you look up here, that's actually a bit of margin space between the last line and the next day. So that was just kind of interesting to me. But then I have this idea sheet of what I might want to consider tracking. So such as steps and exercise. And I recently a couple days ago. Thank you, Chrissy from MäksēLife, because she totally influenced me. But even though it was unintentional influencing, I got another Fitbit. I have been without a pedometer of any kind besides the sensor that's built into my phone for years now. And that was because Fitbit had, here, let me just take that away from my face so you can see what I'm talking about. Fitbit had moved away from their original clip pedometer. And that's what I loved, because I have trouble with stuff around my wrists, which is why you will rarely see me wear bracelets. And when I do, it's large bracelets that when my hand is down will sit about here, or when my arm is up will sit about here. So anything tight against my wrist, even that, it just triggers something in my mind that I'm not sure why. But I can't have like watches and stuff. I don't wear watches. So when Fitbit moved to be pretty much everything watch like or whatever, I was like, nope, not doing this. So when my last one died, I just never got a new one. But Chrissy was talking about possibly moving to Fitbit, even though she has an Apple Watch. And so I was like, I was kind of talking with her in DMs, and I'm like, let me go look. And on the Fitbit website, I'm not sure if they're still having the sale, but they might be, since Father's Day is coming up. But they were having a sale. It was $20 off the Fitbit that I did decide to get, and it is intended to be worn on your wrist. However, they have an accessory, which they also sell, and original pricing is $20, which I find incredibly overpriced, frankly. But it was on sale for $10. Still think it's overpriced, but it's not $20. And it's a clip accessory. So you basically are able to turn it back into a clip, and I can just stick that in my bra, which is where I used to wear my old ones. So I will have a Fitbit again whenever it gets here. But yeah, so that's why I was like, you know what? Let me start tracking, be more intentional about tracking again. So steps, exercise, what meals and snacks I eat during the course of the day, what my water intake is, what meds I'm taking, and maybe just that I take my AM meds and PM meds, and then any additional medications my doctor prescribes. Like right now I'm dealing with a particular issue that I have to take an additional medication for whenever I get this sorted out. I have to wait for a lovely appointment with a doctor to get some further stuff. What my sleep is, because I have to start tracking that on a more consistent basis, as well as like symptoms, conditions, my cycle. So anything out of the ordinary that I might want to be discussing with my doctor. So that would be like on individual days, and then maybe having in this space, like a journal for the week. Like, how did I feel? What am I happy about? Is there anything I want to do? So that's some things for me to consider tracking in the health and wellness tracker. Partially just, I want to improve my health. When I was working in the office 5 days a week, I used to walk to work every single day. And since I have been home, I have become much more sedentary, and I want to change that. So when I do go into the office, I do try to walk into work at least 1 day a week. And that's been really nice, because that's a 2.5-mile walk. And so I'm walking. It's a lot for one walk, but it's really nice. And I will be trying to continue doing that. We'll see with summer, because it's hot and humid here in DC and can be very uncomfortable, but we will see about that. But that is something I want to continue doing, because there's some things coming up later in this year that I'm going to have to do some serious walking for. And I was out of condition for that. And so I'm working on building up my conditioning at the very least to be able to walk for fairly long periods of time again. And then there's also some things that I'm going to have to be talking with my doctor about during my annual physical later this year. And so I just want to get some things more in order. And I want to, I'm not looking to lose weight That is not my goal with this. I'm looking to feel more comfortable within my body, as well as feel more comfortable within my clothes. So I don't necessarily care about my actual weight as much as how I feel about how I move, and like I said, how my clothes fit. I want to feel comfortable within the clothing I prefer to wear. So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm going with this, with the health and wellness, as well as just paying attention to being a female in her mid 40s. So there is that. So that is the health and wellness tracker and what I am thinking about at this point in time before I have started this. This particular planner starts on Monday, June 27th, and it is an 18-month planner. So it goes through to December of 2023. And there's also a fair amount of, maybe not as many notes pages as I thought. So not a whole lot of space, but there is at the end of every month, here, I forgot this page, journaling. So how do I feel about how I've done with the month, and anything that I want to pay attention to, things to note. So this is the last page of the month before it flips to the new month. So those are the ideas that I have right now for the health and wellness tracker. Now for this one, which is going to be my finance planner. And so these are both the color blends design style. There we go. And so the idea that I had for the monthly layout for the financial tracker is to have a daily total and then a running monthly total of my spending, because I find that especially the running monthly total kind of actually helps keep me in check, helps reduce my impulse spending. And I am very much an impulse spender. Part of that is part of that is the ADHD. That is one way in which the impulsivity aspect of ADHD is very manifest within myself. And the other is some just various things that I've talked through with my therapist in the past about. So having a visual cue of how much I've spent already this month, and that helps me with mental cue of, okay, well, my income for this month, because 2 paychecks, I know exactly what every single paycheck is going to be. Some months there are 3, but I know what my actual income post all of the deductions, so taxes and the health insurance and other insurance and stuff. I know what my paycheck, the take-home pay, is going to be every single paycheck. So if I see that, my monthly spending is already over what my paycheck is going to be, my total paycheck for the month is going to be, maybe I shouldn't buy anything that I can't absolutely go without. So that's that visual cue, kind of an accountability thing. So that's the monthly layout. And then what I thought about using this first page, and again, this is the one right after the monthly layout. Let me see if I can actually get so monthly layout, you turn the page and it's this one. I thought about using this as an end of month tracker, so having it as the category totals for the month. But as I, until just now, had forgotten about that last page, this last page in the month would also be a good spot for that. So one of those 2 spots, this might be, maybe if I have this at the beginning of the month, maybe this be the things that I know I need to buy in the course of the month. I just recently had to buy printer ink. So if I know I'm running low on some printer ink, I need to have that in my mind. If I've got a trip coming up, or if I have, say, if I was going to going over to my cousin's for something and I wanted to make some special food, hey, this is something that I need think of, or somebody's birthday, or a new baby in the family. These are things that I can say, hey, this is on the horizon for the month. Keep this in mind while doing things. Hi, Halima. Here, this is a great question. Will I be using this in conjunction with my budget? This is budget by paycheck is what BBPC. There, I said it all. I hope to start integrating the budget by paycheck by doing this. For me, this is like kind of like my first step into getting into the mindset. I'm like kind of really focusing right now on just tracking how I actually spend money. And I would very much like to get it into a more formalized budgeting process. And every time I think I'm about ready to like kind of jump into the budget by paycheck. And for those who are not familiar with it, that is the system that was created by the budget mom. And actually, I'm going to move my laptop briefly because one of the books that I use as a stand is My Money, My Way by Kumiko Love, who is the budget mom. So I'm going to actually put that back up. So I recommend checking out her channel. In fact, that was one of the videos I was watching while I was waiting for this to start. And it's a really, really good YouTube channel. I still have to go through and read the book, but I know I'm going to enjoy it just because I find her advice very down to earth, very common sense in some ways, and very kind, honestly. So yes, this is kind of, I'm working towards getting myself to using the budget by paycheck method. And so yeah, so hopefully one day it'll be in conjunction and maybe I'll just be completely into that particular system. So thank you so much for asking that. So for the dashboard page for the for this one is I thought I could use this as a financial wins for the month. This one, so to be cognizant of what my top spending categories are every month. And then this one, what are my financial goals for the month? And I would be pulling those from what I set out in the MäksēLife. So just as a reminder to myself of what my goals are every month when I'm like kind of going through. And I would be checking in with this particular tracker, well, both trackers. I would be checking in with those every single day as part of my nightly routine. I already have a nightly routine where I journal in the MäksēLife flagship, as well as I've got a daily journal entry in Notion on my computer. So it's like I kind of I have that routine already in place. So I would just be adding these two particular trackers into that nightly routine going through the course of the day. And then for the individual days, I did 2 mock-ups of possibilities for how I would use each section. So try to figure out so this would just be the number in the day. So this space right here. And then each line would be an item that I spent or a place where I spent money. And then I would create 2 columns where I would mark the amount spent. And then if it was something that was shipped, whether or not I received it. Because frankly, I'm losing track of stuff that I order online. It's not pretty. And I'm not like buying that much stuff, but I am forgetting what did I buy online, and do I need to be paying attention to when it was shipped and if I received it. So far, I don't think I've completely lost track of anything, but this is just one way for me to be more mindful about my spending and whether or not I am getting my money's worth and receiving it. So, and then at the bottom of each one, again, in this particular mock-up, I thought, okay, daily total and monthly total. But if I put that on the monthly layout, then I don't necessarily need to be doing that on every single day. And then on the second mock-up, again, it would be have the number of the day. And then I thought in this space, which so it would be this space right here, maybe just put the daily total up there. And again, as a way to just be more mindful of, well, this is how much I spent today, yesterday, earlier this week. And so again, just trying to be more mindful about my spending habits. And then on each line, it would be, again, the item and how much it cost, or the place where I've spent money. And this space is just meant to be like, I can put a mild line, or not a mild. Here. These, the Zig Clean color dots. So just like dot ones that are bought online. So therefore I should be expecting a shipment, and then I can just check it off when it's received. So again, that's what that secondary layout mock-up looks like. And then what I thought in this space is having maybe a weekly spending total, so I can get an idea of how much I spend weekly. Some weeks are going to be a lot more because it's going to be a week where my rent is due, which is just going to be a lot of money. And so other weeks, maybe not as much. So just kind of trying to get an idea as to the flow of the month, and that way that will help me, I think, better manage my money, so that I know, okay, for this paycheck I need to hold back a couple of $100 because next pay period is going to have a lot of times where I'm going to be spending money because like rent is due, my phone bill is due, I'm this payment for this other thing is due. So just kind of as a way to get an idea as to when the high weeks are, when the low weeks are, that kind of thing. Again, this is a tracker and it's trying to give myself actual hard data to look at to, again, get a better handle on my financial life. And then I kind of pulled this from the idea of the MäksēLife. It's like, okay, what adjustments do I need to do for next week? So like, what are my intentions? And maybe it needs to be like a no spend, low spend week just to get myself back on track. I don't, if especially, okay, maybe I've got some fixed expenses coming up for that week, but I don't want to spend anything more than the fixed expenses. So that's the other idea that I had for this space. I think that is it for, yeah. So those are all of the ideas that I have for my health and wellness and financial tracker. If any of you here have any questions, please let me know. I think this is something that you can do in any kind of planner. You just have to figure out what kinds of things you want to track, as well as your intentions for the planner, because figuring out what your intentions are and the things that you want to track, if you want to have it be a tracker, that will help you figure out whether or not a specific layout is going to work for you. So the compact vertical, because it's just lines in boxes, I knew that would work perfectly well for me with both of these trackers. And the other thing for me was that I didn't want too fixed of a thing. So with a lot of health and wellness preset trackers that are out there, they already have things for you to track that I don't necessarily always want to track, or that I don't necessarily want to track at all. And so to me, that's kind of wasted space. This allows me to be very flexible. And the other thing with that, though, is that I have to be okay with writing in all of these things, and I'm fine with committing to that, what I will be doing at the start of every week. So as part of my Sunday planning reset is that I will just, with the exception of the financial tracker, since that's not going to have a whole lot of writing except as I spend money, but especially the health and wellness, I will write out everything that I want to track on every day. So I will just get that set up done on Sundays at the start of the week, or on Saturdays if I know Sunday is going to be a bit busy for me. Yeah, so we're at about the half-hour mark, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. If you're watching this on replay, thank you so much. For all of you who have joined me live, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend and or whatever day that you're watching this on, and may all your dreams be ruby dreams. Bye-bye.